Hello and welcome to the Sheep and Cheerful podcast, episode 17. 17. Can't believe that. 17 weeks. Okay, that's gone quickly. Anyway, my name is Nicky. I am your host for this afternoon's revelries and general mayhem. And I can be found on Instagram and on Ravelry as Clara Peggotty. This podcast is a podcast about crafting and knitting, and clearly how many times I can say This is the third bit I've filmed, the third introduction I filmed, and I'm not going to do it again because clearly it's not going to get much better. Anyway, it's a podcast about me living my most crafty life in as cheerful a way as possible. And slightly mad as well. There it goes again. My goodness. If you were to play that game, people do it with shots, don't they? And so every time I say you take a swig of a shot of some sort of wine, you'll be pickled within 5 minutes, the way I'm going today. So don't do that. Anyway. Okay. Right, not to say anymore. It's really, really hot here in the UK today. If you are in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. I'm on the south coast and the temperature is currently nearly about 32 degrees centigrade, which is low 90s Fahrenheit for those of you who are elsewhere. So yeah, it's so hot, and it's been this hot for about a week now, and we are all melting, hence my rather bedraggled appearance. I'm afraid it's just too hot for me to be anything but this. By the end of the podcast, I'll be this kind of melted little blob on the chair. It'll be, Nicky the blob. So I did make the effort. I put a little bit of eyeliner on, but that will probably have dripped all down my face by the end of it. So there you go. But I'm here. I'm doing it. I've stoked up the energy. And here I am to share a little bit of time with you on a Wednesday afternoon. For me, it's the 12th of August, so this will be going up tomorrow, Thursday the 13th of August, and I'm going to share a few bits and bobs with you. It's not going to be a super long one because it really is stupid hot and it's very difficult. Those of you who live in countries where air conditioning is standard, in the UK we don't have air conditioning. The best we've got of air conditioning this is my air conditioning unit. I tell her, like, oh look, it's under my hair now. Oh heavens. We have got some fans, but I haven't got them on, some plug-in fans. I haven't got them on at the moment because they're a bit noisy. So I'm going to power through and see how we go. So yes, it'll be a relatively short one. We do have storms forecast for tonight, tomorrow and Friday, and a drop in temperature, and I think most of the country are waiting with bated breath. I spoke to a lady, a doctor's secretary this morning, and she said she and her friends have been having coffee in the back garden under a tree or whatever, and they're constantly looking at their phones, checking on the weather update to see when the storm was going to arrive. That's how sad we all are over here. But yeah, I've spent most of the last few days, if I'm not doing usual housey stuff, I've been sitting in the back garden with my feet in a bucket full of ice cold water, and it has been bliss. There's been a breeze a couple of the days which has helped, but yeah, the ice cold water does help. And on the weekend, on Sunday, I managed to get lots of knitting done actually, which I have done an Instagram post on that, but I'll be sharing my chicken sweater with you later. Really got cracking with that one, so I was really pleased. But for the rest of the week, I've not been doing an awful lot of knitting. or sewing. I have done some EPP, but again, you know, the hands get so hot and sweaty and it's rather horrid really. So I haven't done an awful lot of that. I can share with you a handmade object straight away. Please forgive the state of crinkles of this. It's the first time I've worn it in a long time, and I obviously didn't iron it when I put it away last time. But this was a test run of something I made at the end of last summer, and it's the Bantam Tee from Merchant and Mills. Do you remember, was it last week I shared with you the saltmarsh skirt that I was wearing? This Bantam Tee is one of those patterns that can be adapted. You can make it as a dress or you can make it as a t-shirt, which is what I've got. I didn't buy fabric especially. I used fabric from my scrappy stash, which you will see in just a moment. Henry, as ever, is lying right by the wheels of my chair, so I'm not sure I'm actually going to be able to get up. There we go. Right, so, oh my goodness. There we go. So it's got bust darts there, which is always good to have a bit of bust shaping, especially when you're fairly generously proportioned like me. And then the back, you can see I did a contrasting polka dot. I actually really like that look. And then it has a lower dipped hem there. And then I made my own bias binding. That's about as good as you're going to get from the camera. You can have the top and not my head, or my head and not... Anyway, I dragged it out to, sorry, it's Henry again. I dragged it out to wear today, and I thought it'd be quite nice to show you. It's really, really simple. So it's from the Merchant and Mills workbook. I showed you last week. So have a look for that. You can buy the pattern separately, and as I say, you could just make a really long dress in this fabric as well. From this pattern. So that's what I'm wearing. So at least it's something handmade, isn't it? Right, so thank you for your comments last week about the general idea of whether I should podcast fortnightly or weekly. I wouldn't say bi-weekly, but I always struggle with that because it makes it sound like it's going to be twice a week, but of course it's not. It's once every 2 weeks, but I'm going to fan, excuse me. Oh, it's lovely. Yes, so I will probably keep going weekly. Nobody sent me a message saying, oh my goodness, can't bear you every week. Well, none of you would, because you're all lovely. But so I thought I will keep going weekly, and we'll see how we go. If there's an occasion when I can't do it weekly, or if I really haven't got anything to share, like that's going to happen, then I will go to, I'll miss a week and just do a fortnightly one. But so far I think we're okay. I think we're good going weekly, so thank you for that. What else have I got here? I should say that there is a Sheba Cheerful podcast Ravelry group, for those of you who don't already know. So do hop over and join in. We have an introductory thread, or an introduce yourself thread, and I would really encourage you to drop in there and say hi. Tell us a bit about yourself. The group, as I say, every week is lovely. We've got some lovely ladies on there, no gentlemen as yet, who are really happy to share and support each other with stories and tales of yarn chicken and pattern share, recommendations and things. So do drop in there. We've got some make-alongs going on, which I will also be talking about in a little while. So that's the Ravelry group. Now, I also am aware, and I have spoken about this before, that some people are still unable to use Ravelry for various health reasons, if nothing else. So I am going to endeavour, although last week's giveaway was done through the Ravelry chatter thread, I will endeavour to make it enterable. If I do any more giveaways or prizes, I will do it through the YouTube chatter as well. So do not fear, you won't miss out. We will try and make it as available to everyone. I don't have another platform. I'm not on Facebook anymore, and I don't have a blog or anything like that. So it will have to be between either Instagram, Ravelry, or YouTube. but we will do that. Right, the other thing, just very quickly, I have a prize to announce in a moment, the giveaway for this week, which I've got there, that's right. A friend of mine, Angela, who is on Instagram as Knitting on the Farm with underscores between the words, she also has a podcast. Angela is doing a destash of some project bags. Now, if anyone remembers, I have or recently purchased a project bag from Joji Bag from her lovely, beautiful project bag range. I have the suede mustard one, which really, if I had half a brain, I would have brought it here to show you. Look it up on her website if you want to see what it's like. They're beautifully made bags, but for those of us, particularly in the UK, they are very expensive. And now a van has pulled up. I think we've got an Amazon delivery. Just a sec. Right outside the window, doing a 3-point turn on the drive. I can't complain because I do believe it is my compostable bin bags that have just arrived. He'll probably sit in there for ages. The trouble is I feel so self-conscious sitting here talking because he's going to see me through the window. Nah. Whatevs. Oh, Mr. Bennett. Oh, I want to be one of those senoritas. Thank you. There you go. Oh, get me. Oh, it's going from bad to worse, isn't it, today, honestly? What was I saying? Knitting on the Farm, Angela. She's having a bag destash. And she's selling a Joji sock bag, which is actually probably a 2-skein bag, really, and a Joji notions bag, and I believe she also has an interchangeable needle cozy holder thing, all from Joji, and she's selling them through her Instagram account. So as of now, I spoke to her before I started recording. She's still got them for sale. They are a lot cheaper than you would buy them if you had them shipped directly from Argentina. Mine, the mail, that wasn't too much, but I was hammered for import duties. So they are, if you can get one like this, then it's worth doing. So yeah, check out Angela's feed. I wouldn't normally, obviously this isn't an advertisement channel, but I was chatting to Angela about them. She knows how much I love them. And I said I would just pop it out there as a notice on the podcast in case any of you are interested in treating yourself. Right, onwards then to the announcement of the giveaway from last week. So if you remember, last week I talked to you about a giveaway that lovely Rachel Jarvis from Made by Rachel on Instagram and Etsy and everywhere else, wherever she is, sent me. So she sent one of her fabulous little packs of hexis, pre-cut hexis, in her really beautiful fabrics. I've not opened this, but you've all seen the fabrics that I've used. I wonder if I've got, just a sec, I will remind you. So basically these are all hexis from Rachel, pre-cut hexis. This has got bigger. I'm not going to share this officially today, but I have added another row. And Rachel also makes the most beautiful notions pouches or project bags for, I actually keep hexis in this one. And she sent me a pack of the pre-cut fabric plus a pack of the paper squares. They're hexis. If they were squares, they wouldn't work, would they? Pack of the pre-cut paper hexis. And I put with it one of these Soline glue basting pens. So you've got that little pack, and what you had to do was hop on over to the Ravelry Group. This was a Ravelry one last week, and say what you think you would enjoy about doing some English paper piecing. And we had a lovely group of replies for that. We had some pictures as well of some EPP already in progress. So that was lovely. Thank you to everyone who left a message there. I did a random number generator courtesy of the phone, Siri, who's hopefully not going to say anything because I mentioned his name. And Siri told me that it was post number 19 that was to be chosen. And so the winner is Kerry from North Yorkshire in the UK. So congratulations, Kerry. You have won, and I believe you are new to EPP. So this will be a brilliant start for you. You've got, I think it's 50, not squares, 50 hexagons. You've got your glue basting pen, so you just need a needle and a bit of thread and you're off. So Kerry, if you drop me an email, either an email to the email address I'll put in the notes down below, or you can message me on Instagram, a direct message on Instagram with your name and address details, and I will pop these in the post to you. Congratulations. I like having giveaways. I was going to do another one this week, but I haven't got my act together enough, so we won't be having one this week. I'll give away 100 litres of ice cubes, except I wouldn't give them away because I would be keeping them and sitting in the bath in them. Right, notes. Okay, so we better move on to some knitting, hadn't we? And of course, we have a finished object behind us. So I can't move. Henry's down there. For those of you who don't know, Henry is one of my English Springer Spaniels who likes to lay wherever I am. And when I'm on my wheelie chair, he likes to lay with his paws wrapped around the wheels so that I can't actually move. So I'm going to bring Agatha around here. I have finished. I have finished my Stillness shawl. Look at that. And I can even give her a twirl. I was watching Ellie's podcast, Craft House Magic, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so pleased to see that I'm not the only one who gives my mannequin a name. And I have seen other people do it. This is Agatha. She's been Agatha for about 5 years now. But look, so this is, I will take it off her in a sec, but this was just to give you an idea. So this is the Stillness shawl by Helen Stewart, who is Curious Handmade, and it was a mystery knit along, and I was given the pattern as a gift by a lovely friend, Janine, who hopefully is watching, and she also dyed some yarn for me. I ended up choosing this pink Janine dyed, this sparkly pink. I didn't use the two other skeins because we felt when Helen Stewart said on the pattern details you needed a dark, a speckled and a light to really emphasise the pattern variations. We felt that the colours Janine had dyed weren't varied enough. They were all lovely, beautiful pastel-y colours. So I used this one. This one here is from Eula, who is Hey Mama Wolf in Germany. And then this one here was Mrs. Claus's Cheeky Prosecco by Kelly at Lay Family Yarns. It's a fingering weight shawl. It is huge. It is humongous. By the last bit, by the final lace section, there were 525 stitches to a row. So it took me a while to finish. I kept up with the clues all through. Apart from the last week, I took 2 weeks to finish it. So if I actually hold it out as wide, so it goes from there all the way across to there. So you can see just how much of a lace frill there is on it. So it is, yeah, as I say, it is huge. It is really pretty. I do have a confession though. I shouldn't really say this, but I'm going to. Or I shouldn't really tell you this. It's no biggie, but I skipped 2 rows. I skipped 2 rows in this lace section. Quite honestly, I just wanted to get it finished. So I think you had to do 18 rows of this pale pink sort of chevron at the bottom, and I did 16. Don't tell the knitting police, whatever you do. But it's still really pretty. Also, when I blocked it, I pegged it out on my washing line like this because I didn't have anywhere to block it. It's so big. So the chevron bits here, probably if you'd have blocked it with pins, you could have made much more of a feature of that. But I'm just happy to let it sort of naturally drop there. But there it is. It's beautiful. Do you want a close up? There you go. So you can see the texture in this bit here. Then you've got stripes. Then you've got these sort of arrowy bits there. More stripes, more texture, eyelets, and then the lace. So I'm actually very impressed with myself for making this in such a short period of time. So there you go. I finished, Mum. This will probably, I don't know if it's available now to buy the whole pattern, but I'm sure if it's not now, it will be on Helen Stewart's website and on Ravelry very soon. So let's put Agatha out of the way. There we go. So yeah, that was a big job to get that finished. So really pleased with that. Right, what next? Chicken sweater next. So as I said, I've been working hard. I think because I worked on some other bits and because it's been so hot this week, I suppose hoped I would perhaps get the body of this sweater done, and I haven't quite, but I've also had to add a few extra rounds to increase the length just a little bit. So this is the Caitlin Hunter Boylan Knitworks Jupiter crop. Probably doesn't look that, well, it should look different because I've done a whole pattern section. There we go. So again, if I come here, so what I've done since last week is this bottom feather section here, sorry, just knocking the bell there, which is really, really pretty. And you can see it's kind of, I'm very high-waisted, so it's almost down to my waist. I've got probably another inch to go. Then there's 3 inches of rib, so it's going to sit about there. I wanted it to be cropped, but by the same token I didn't want it to be right up here because otherwise I'm going to be all bust, and you don't need that, do you? So there we go. So actually if I turn it round, you can see, if you needed proof, that's where I was. There you go. So I basically put in this feathered section here. So I have got about 6 or 7 more rounds to do of the pattern, of the colour work, and then it's just on to the main French navy, which will be great, and then the rib, quite a lot of rib, and it's short sleeved. So that is going great guns. I'm so pleased with that. So excited for when the cooler weather comes and I can wear it. The colour I'm using at the moment is the Whortleberry colour from Wonderland Yarns, which is this lovely purple. I've used this as an extra colour, so this colour at this stage of the pattern, you can see these. Okay, so we've got the pink, the mint colour, the blue, and then the grey here, and then it repeats. So we've got pink, mint, blue. So this would have been grey, but, well, many reasons. I only had these are all mini skeins, so I didn't have enough grey to do another big section. Plus I didn't want it to be grey, I wanted it to be a colour. So I chose this colour, and I bought a skein of this because I know I'll probably be able to get something else out of what's left over from the skein once I've used this. So this is an extra colour. Normally, according to the pattern, this would be the same colour as these grey feathers up here. But so pleased, so enjoying knitting it, so loving that, really am. So yeah, that's that. So you never know if it's, now I've finished the shawl, the Stillness shawl, and oh, sticking to the chair, that's not nice, is it? Warts and all, that's all I'll say. Yeah, now I've finished the shawl, I can probably focus on that sweater. I have been starting to get my knit mojo back a little bit. It comes and goes. I probably say that every week, don't I? But I have lots of socks. I'm not going to share my socks with you this week. I have to finish the jasmine socks, the second sock of the, well, the test knit is over. I did the jasmine socks for Debbie. I showed you the first one last week, which was the one we had to get finished. And again, working on the shawl, working on the sweater. I've made a start on sock number 2. So I'm working on the jasmine sock. I've also got the Soul Sisters socks to finish by the end of August, because that was one of my entries into the I Finished Mum Make Along. So I had completely forgotten about those, to be honest. And when I was finishing up, when I was putting away my yarn from this, I thought, actually, do you know what? I'm going to use up the leftovers and I'm going to do some 3-colour stripy socks. And I thought that would be really cool. So I got the sock bag and the needles, and I thought I'll put it with my other sock projects. And I've already got about 5 sock projects on the go. Most of which I'd forgotten about the Soul Sister socks. I knew about the jasmine socks. I've got my sock blank, the second sock of that. I've got my self-striping down Sheepy Lane sock, and a sock that I'm knitting for my dad for Christmas. So that's a, oh, and the of course the Felicity self-striping Rose City roller socks. I finished that. I should show you, shouldn't I? I can't remember what I said to you about, okay, I won't get it now, but I finished the first sock, and what I did, and I think I may have shared this with you last week because I wasn't sure about Emily's foot size, is I've knit the toe and I've knit right up to the end, but instead of grafting it, Kitchener stitching it, I've just put it onto waist yarn. And I will do the same with the second foot, so that when I give her the socks at Christmas, she can try them on, and if they're fine, I can Kitchener them. If they're not, I can just pull up back the toes and add a few more stripes. So that's the plan there. But yeah, I'm not going to go through all the socks today because, well, it's too hot, quite frankly. Right, I'm going to go and grab a quick drink of water. I really don't even have to tell you that, because all you will see is like this slick cut and blend into the next bit. But I don't know why I'm even telling you this. Anyway, I'm going to have a drink of water. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. You see, totally seamless there. I also just messaged Hannah. Hannah's out. She's gone to the beach with a friend and she's on her way home soon. So I may have just messaged her to bring some ice cream home. Quick. Do you remember, was it James Bond, a James Bond baddie that had a fan and they were all like knives and she like, no, never mind. I watch too many films. Oh, hold on a sec, she's ringing. I'm podcasting!
Sorry, but I'm driving and you Snapchatted me and I wasn't sure whether it was like important.
Okay, it's all go. So I texted Hannah to request ice cream, and apparently she was in her car driving, so she couldn't even read the text, but she knew I texted her, so she just rang me. So I'm going to have to make sure I cut all that bit out as well. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? So professional. Right, let's get on with the Ravelry Group. We have make-alongs going on. We have the Scrappy Blanket Adventures, which is going on throughout the rest of the year. And it's fabulous. There's some great stuff being made in there. So I do encourage you, if you haven't already checked it out, hop over and check out the thread there. Bung up a picture of your blanket. How great English is that? Bung up. Please display a photograph of your piece of work. And yeah, put it in the threads, and we can all ooh and ah over it, and we can all decide that we want to make that one too, and then we can all end up with loads of blankets on the go. But hey, you know, it's what we love to do, isn't it? So why not? And there we go, there was an again there, wasn't there? The other make along, which is coming to an end, we've got a couple more weeks probably, is the I've Finished Mum make along, which has been fantastic. Oh my goodness, we've had such good entries into that. The chatter thread has been excellent, and honestly, it's the age of some of the whips that have been brought out and dusted off. It reminds me of, do you remember, all these film references. I can't think what he was called, the penguin in Toy Story 2, was it? And he'd been left up on the top shelf, and it was kind of almost like the graveyard of toys being left on the top shelf, and he kept coughing because it was so musty up there, and he's meant to squeak, and he would cut this cough squeaky thing. Well, I think we've had the equivalent in whips of the penguin. We've had some that are years old. I think one was 16 years old. Also, there are a few that came out that are quite old that still haven't been finished, and I'm wondering whether you all need a bit of a push. Come on, get those whips finished. If you wanted to get them done enough to put a photograph of them in the thread, then you need to get them done. And think what a big pat in the back you could give yourself at the end of August when it's done. That's why I'm aiming. I've got my cocoon socks done, and I'm aiming to get my Soul Sister socks done. They're the two. They're not my oldest whips by any measure of imagination, but they were the two I really wanted to finish. So for various different reasons, really. So do join in. It's not too late if you've got a whip, or if you've got something that might even only take, I don't know, less than a week to finish, but you know that you're kind of not really wanting to pick it up. Come and join in that thread. Join in the chatter thread. As I say, this runs until the end of August, till the end of the month. And when you finish, post a picture in the finished object thread. And each week we have a little celebration. And we have, of course, the I've Finished Mum bell. Thank you very much. So we have, I think, 4 bells this week. We do. We have Jeanette in Birmingham. I don't know why I said it like that. In Birmingham, UK, this is. And she has posted 2 pairs of socks. Well done, Jeanette. That's fantastic. They're cracking socks as well. Love them. Then Amanda, lovely Amanda, has finished a hospice comfort blanket. Lovely bright colours. That's going to be great. Last year at Socks on the Beach, we did a charity run for, not a charity run, I ran a charity knit along, crochet along for blankets for dementia patients for our local hospitals, and we had over 30 made. It was brilliant. Then Colleen in Newcastle, but Newcastle down under. So Colleen in Australia, she's finished a spinning project. Well done, Colleen. She'd found some singles that were spun onto some bobbins, and she's now plied them and got them finished. So hopefully you will be able to get those off the bobbin now and knit up into something exciting, Colleen. Well done. And then another really different one. We've got Elaine, who dug out an old kit for a seagrass stool. Now, I don't think I'll be able to put a picture in here, but you could probably Google it if you want to know. Basically, lovely little, really low little wooden stool, and then it has this woven seagrass top of it. And I said in the chatter thread, actually, I think my grandparents had one many years ago, and I do believe it was made. My grandpa used to teach at the School for the Blind because he was also virtually blind himself, and I think they made them there. I think that's what where theirs came from. But it's fabulous, and she made it in no time at all, and it's a box that's been sitting around at home that she hasn't been giving any attention to. So well done, Elaine, down in Devon. I've already rung the bell, haven't I, for you? So well done, you 4. That's cracking. We've got a really great amount of entries now in the finished object thread. But as I said, there's still some people in the chatter thread who are working on things that need to be finished. So last couple of weeks. Let's go for it, folks. There's going to be a new make-along for September, and I suspect it will be something to do with Christmas. So I shan't announce it yet, but it will be fairly small items. I mooted at it at the end of June, so if you watched back then you may be able to guess, but anyway, come September we'll be having a new make-along thread going on there, and we will also run it, I think, across Instagram and across YouTube, so that anybody who's not on Ravelry or who can't use Ravelry can also join in. You know, I want to enable as many of you as possible to join in. I would hate for any of you to feel left out. So that's that. Okay, so that's that thread the podcast group talked about. Now there is one more thing that I want to share with you. I'm not going to do a book review this week. As I say, I'm keeping it fairly short this week because even just for this, what are we at? We're probably at about 45 minutes and I'm already absolutely baking hot. So just wipe the old eyeliner away. So I'm going to share with you something else I've been making this week, and then we'll probably call it a day. I've also got a video clip of this to show you the process. Now, as you know, a lot of you, I've been very into journaling and kind of paper craft and art of late. It's kind of a new rabbit hole, a new love of mine, and I have tied that in with Bible journaling and scripture journaling, which, you know, I have talked about before. Sorry, unstick myself. This is so gross. I'm so politically incorrect today. But I follow Illustrated Faith on Instagram, and if you're interested in any kind of journaling, even if it's not biblical journaling, then my goodness, follow that feed. It's amazing. And I do download a lot of their digital download, print and pray stuff from their shop on the interweb. So I saw one of their artists made what she called a bookidex. And again, this isn't a new thing. I think I have seen them before, but I've never seen one used in this way. And it was one of those things, and I saw it and it was like, I have to do this. And basically, it's where you get an old book and you fold the pages down so you get the concertina effect. And then you can then use it to display whatever it is you want to display, really. Now, I've been looking to do a Bible study on the armour of God for a long time. It's one of my most favourite passages. I have loads of favourite passages in the Bible. And I thought, actually, do you know, this would be perfect to do it. So I'm going to turn it around here so you can see it. This is, there you go. That's my bookidex. So that is kind of, it's not finished. This is, hang on, that's it. This is a work in progress. I've just been working on it for a couple of days. And what I do each day is I look at a bit of scripture and study it. And then I add cards or decorate this to do it. And this is actually an old gardening book. I've got a whole set of these and I love them. They're very old. And I put them in the charity pile more than once to go out, and then I can't bear to part with them. I never look at them though. I never actually use stuff. A lot of it has been superseded information-wise, and I thought this would be a great book to use. So if you look at the side, you can see the concertina effect. And again, I'm sure many of you will have done this, like that. There we go, already. So I've been working on these different cards. This was one I did this morning. And this was, it's not a piece of scripture, it's a piece of writing that I got from a study guide. So I actually put a little flag stand there, and it just sits in the top there. I've got some cutouts. This is kind of me, but not blonde me, and certainly not sweaty me. Oops. Some of the pieces don't, some of the pages aren't closed a lot. I added pom-poms, as you can see. I've got pom-poms at the front and the back. I made a little flag here, and I put that onto a kebab stick because we didn't have anything else to use. Sorry, get myself comfortable. So basically, so as I'm doing it, and I also printed off, I bought a PDF of these sort of retro library cards. So you can print those off and you just tuck them in, and then I'll just pull one out and write on it when I'm ready. But anyway, that's what I've been busy making, and oh, it's just wonderful. I'm so loving it. And what I did this morning, I put that in because that's it. I wanted to display it better. I decorated this front cover here this morning. You can't see it terribly well. I will try and bring it closer. And I videoed it. Now, I'm obviously not a professional craft videoer, as it were, but it's not too bad. So if you're interested, I'll put the video up at the end so you can see my process. It's a process video of creating that. So it's mostly stamps. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you. And what occurred to me, you see, is wouldn't it be lovely to make one of these and mount family photos in it? And wouldn't that be great as a gift for someone? You could get you could buy a specific book if you wanted to, or you could just find an old book in a charity shop, make the bookie decks, and then, that's right on my nose, isn't it? There you go. And then print off some photographs and just put them, you could put them on little stands like that if you wanted to, or you could just stick them to the top of the pages and create kind of a photo display. So I might well do that as well, because I'm a little bit obsessed with this now. Oh, it's new. What am I not obsessed with? I'm going to put this down because the last thing I want to do is drop it and have everything fall out. So yeah, it's not an original idea. I'm trying to think who did the process video that I watched. It was one of the Illustrated Faith artists, but I'm not sure. I should tell you, shouldn't I? Because I should give her credit. I don't want to. I've saved it on my favourites, so let me just find it for you. Because as I say, this is totally her. There it is. Right. Okay. Oh, it was an Illustrated Faith one by the looks of it. Yeah, Chasing Rainbows book decks, and it's on. You can see their process video on Instagram TV, on IGTV. And there you can see the one, you're just about to see that she's made. So I didn't use the same devotional that they used, but obviously I got the idea and I made it my own with my own study. So there you go. Right, I think that's probably all I've got for you now. I will put my little process video, as amateur as it is, I will put at the end there. I don't think I've got any more exciting information to share with you. Do forgive me for a short one this week. It's going to be, yeah, relatively short. Hannah did want me to go to the beach with her this afternoon, and I was so tempted. And I was going to film at the beach, actually, and just say, look, we can go in the sea. But it was too hot to move. Too darn hot. Who can tell me in the comments below who sang It's Too Darn Hot, and what Hollywood musical did she sing it in? Where is it from? No prizes, just a bit of satisfaction there. I love Hollywood musicals, as you know, so I could sing it to you, but I'm not going to. I'll spare you that. Right, that really is enough. I'm going to wrap it up for now. Next week, according to the weather forecast, we are going to be back to normal-ish weather, so low to mid-20s next week, which is far more bearable. I don't mean to be ungrateful, but my goodness, it's hard in this heat. So hopefully Hannah will arrive home sometime soon with lots of supplies for me. And yes, I'm going to be I can't diet in this weather. I can't not eat ice cream. That's ridiculous. Of course I cannot eat ice cream. I don't want to not eat ice cream. I want to eat ice cream. So, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, I was going to say something so funny and it totally went out of my head. Okay, could it get any more ridiculous than this week? Mind you, I thought that last week when I put the picture of me running at the speed camera. I'm going to look back at this when I edit it and think, what on earth? No. Anyway, I hope you've all had a bit of a laugh with me for the last 40 minutes or so. If you're in the UK, I hope you're not melting too much. If you're elsewhere in the world, I hope you're not melting too much. I hope you're having a nice summer, or to all our friends down under, a nice autumn winter has started. I am sending a big hug around the world to you all. Keep commenting, keep sending me the comments below. It's wonderful. I love reading them. And joining the Ravelry group, of course, if you can. If not, as I say, comment down below, message me on Instagram. And let's just make sure we are more sheep, and let's definitely keep cheerful.